Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Drea. I know it's been a minute. This is a faceless video because right now I'm still in my soft, protective, sacred space, but I felt led to share this and get back on the mic. As you all may or may not know, I disappeared from social media. I disappeared from sharing videos, and I want to say last year around this time, I stopped recording videos. And usually I was on point recording videos, sharing the brown girl wisdom, the knowledge. And I just want to have a story time on why I just disappeared. So I am human. Welcome to being a human as everyone else. And I hit a breaking point around this time last year, while I was on vacation with my best friend. We decided to do a bestie vacation to Key West, which it was so needed. And I was pushing through because last year, as you all may have known, I resigned from the job that I love so much at my alma mater. I love my students, and every semester I was like, this is my last semester. Once I get this class graduated, I'm going to move on. But when you do those things and you pretty much leave behind the thing that you love because it was a toxic place for you, I really hit rock bottom. I really hit the breaking point. Not only was I burnt out, but I had like a whole soul level unraveling. And on paper, y'all may say, well, Drea, you was looking amazing, dope. You was doing all the things. And sometimes you may look great on paper, but on the back end of things, everything is falling apart. And it actually was a divine redirection, intervention, invitation to come back home to self. I had to really come back home to self because of just everything that was going on from last year to this year, right? I didn't plan on ghosting y'all. I just couldn't be in a space of posting, providing motivation, wisdom when my life was shifting. And it all shifted, like I said, around this time last year. And I got a phone call when I was on vacation. My mom called me and was in panic and said that my brother was going through a mental health crisis. And I'm always the go to person in my family because of number one, for those who may or may not know, I am a social worker, I'm a professor, and I'm always the person who is cool, calm, collective. I don't know if that's a good thing, a bad thing, or a thing that's indifferent. A lot of things don't rattle me, and I would have to say that's that Boston Mattapan grit mixed with the way I was raised by Southern parents. I don't know, but a lot of things do not rattle me. So when I heard that happen, I said, well, I can't do anything about it because I'm on vacation. But when I get back, me, my parents have to have a conversation on what's the plan. Do we need to go back to Boston, or do my brother and his family, are they going to be able to handle that while we provide guidance, right? And so that happened. While we're having plans in motion for that, my mom gets served divorce papers after 19 years of being married. Now, mind you, I'm a homeowner. I have all the space in the world, and of course, I am going to open up my doors for my family, especially my mom, especially my parents, especially my brother. And I just didn't have the space or the capacity to say, hey, I'm going to pop up on social media and share all my business because I'm the type of person who I'm working through everyone, my vulnerability. And so I wouldn't say that I was silently suffering. I was just trying to figure things out. I was on survival mode. So that happened September, October. I'm still in my relationship. Boom, December, got engaged. One of the most stressful, happiest, you can name all the emotions. I was going through it at that point in time in December. I got engaged December 20th. On Christmas Day, my cat, my fur son, I had to put him down. And I had him since he was 6 weeks old, and I had to put him down at 13 weeks. So here goes another like 4 or 5 life transitions. So at that time, going through all that, the new year, I didn't even go out for New Year. I didn't even do anything but lay in my bed because I was just going through grief. And grief hits us differently. I think people think grief should be this thing that's linear. As a social worker, as someone who I worked in hospice before, grief hits us at different times. We may can watch something on TV. Someone can say something to us that can trigger another level of grief that we thought that we dealt with, right? And I was just in the part of grief of depression. I didn't want to do anything. I was just like, I'm done because, like I said, 2024 was just a interesting year for you, girl. And I was like, I can't take anything else. So that happened. Fast forward to, my mom still staying with me. We're still trying to figure out this divorce thing. My brother, he's getting stabilized. He received and still receiving the help that he needs. Give thanks to that. And I just got hit with a ton of breaks when I took my social media break. March, April. I just cannot move forward. I broke off my engagement because of I just couldn't take another life transition of moving to a new state at the time. I just couldn't because I had my mom to think about. I'm a homeowner. We're in a different administration. Houses wasn't moving the same in the place in which my fiance moved to, it just didn't align with me. Let's be honest with that. It just didn't align, and I felt we just wasn't aligned. So I had to make the difficult decision to put a pause in my relationship. A difficult pause because of when you are going to spend your life with someone, you have to be in alignment, and everyone has to respect that. Hey, maybe this is not the time to make another major move because of just the moves that this person had made before. It kind of destroyed them. So I got destroyed emotionally, mentally, to the point I had a meltdown, and I had to call my therapist. And when I called my therapist, I've been working with my therapist on and off for 5 years. When I went through my divorce in 2020, and it was hard to get. She had a wait list, and I was like, oh my god, I just need to see you now. And I just really had to, you know, do some major. When I'm saying major work and surrender. And I was in survival mode, y'all. I was taking care of myself, but not taking care of myself. When I look at old pictures of myself of this year, I was like, who's this woman? I had a lot of inflammation. My joints was hurting. Even though I was working out, I'm a gym person. I go to the gym 3 4 times a week. I couldn't lose the weight. And when I went back into therapy, when I shut everything down, and I was just like, okay, God, it's me, you, my therapist, my mom, and just really living a simple life. And I developed my prayer closet and really got back to self. I really realized that I have to step away from a lot of things, and I'm thankful that I did. Um, I like I said, I surrendered. I surrendered everything to God. And also, too, God shouldn't be your emergency, your emergency glass. You should always center God and center yourself. So when I did that, I started noticing, I started rebuilding my life. I started looking better. I started feeling better. I started to trust my voice and my boldness more and really started enhancing my confidence because when you're in survival mode, you're not focusing on how do I feel today? Am I taking care of myself? Am I am I thriving? You're just trying to hold on to every moment of life and like trying not to let the other shoe fall. So I really realized that I was worth rebuilding. I had to rebuild from inside that gleam from outside, right? So even though I just had my last therapist appointment this week, and my therapist was like, "Girl, you good." I was really fighting the air like Trey from Boys in the Hood because I'm like, "Girl, what you mean I'm good?" But she was right. Like I was good. I wasn't on life support anymore. I wasn't on survival because I realized I had to realign back to the things that brought me joy, whether that was something simple. I lost about like 20 pounds. I got my glow back. I started to reinforce my boundaries. I started to do things that made me happy within. That's journaling. I take nature walks. I have a dope, which everyone should invest in, walking pad. I have to go back to source. I have to go back to self, right? Eating healthier. I got better with with my healthy eating habits. Really just making sure that my mom is okay. Even though my mom is able bodied, she's independent, going back to traveling, doing things for me, letting go of grudges, resentment, a lot of forgiveness, forgiving myself. And I know these things are very cliche, but those things are hard to do when you're on survival mode because you're like, I'm just trying to survive the day. I don't have time to go outside myself and forgive other people or to, pray or to go into the Bible or whatever the case is. And I really have to do that. I really have to rip up my roots and reestablish them within. So even though I'm not all the way back, but I'm showing up softer, slower, and more sincere. I prayed hard to do this actual episode, this podcast. So one of my friends, and shout out to my friend Q, said, "Yo, like people need you. People need to hear your voice." And I promised him that I would slowly but surely come back in due time. So even though this platform is not about perfection, honey, because no one is perfect, and I broke up with perfectionism a long time ago, it's about process. It's about healing. It's about the wisdom. It's about coming back to self. It's about rebuilding. And it's okay to rebuild after a heartbreak. It's okay to rebuild if you're experiencing secondary trauma because a loved one may have a mental health crisis. It's okay to come back to God, whoever you consider your God is. It's okay to take care of your parents. It's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to not have your business all in the streets too, right? And it's okay to go and be whole. And I'm thankful that I'm able to have this platform to be honest about what it takes to rise again, because we all will rise. I always say, you only got up to go when you're on the floor. So if you're in a season of transition, heartbreak, unemployment, burnout, or just trying to figure it out, trust me, you are not alone. So many people are going through it. Of course, they're going to come on social media and be like, I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, but deep down inside, they may be doing the ugly cry. They may be doing the visible swinging like traded and Boys in the Hood, right? So I just want to let you know that I'm rooting for you, just like y'all rooting for me. So shout out and thank you for coming back. And Brown Girl from Boston, I'm still here. And the Brown Girl Wisdom I'll be dropping more wisdom and some more content. I'm not gonna give promises like, oh, I'm gonna do this every day or every week. But I just want to let you know that I'm here. So of course, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Work on your vulnerability. What's one thing that you need to work on? What's one thing that's going to transition you from survival mode to soft mode to thriving? I want to hear from y'all in the comment section. So, as always, please take care of yourself. Much love and light. Peace.